Confidence starts the moment you stop controlling everything. The moment you understand that some people might just form an opinion about you that your ego will not be proud of at all. Your ego will reject it completely. Your ego just wants you to be perfect all the time to get all the validation, right? But you see, most people want other people to perceive them in a certain way. And that creates a lot of tension. So if you can identify with this, if you do feel a lot of tension and pressure when you are in social situations, then you might just be in this category. But you see, when you do this, you have an ideal that you want to step into every single time. You have a bare minimum of your social performance, let's say. So you have expectations. Inevitably, in every domain of life, when you do have expectations, they will be broken sometime and you will be extremely disappointed. And in our situation, your disappointment equals anxiety and being triggered, losing control over yourself, feeling like you are at gunpoint. That's not an appropriate reaction. But then again, I cannot blame you because I've been like that for such a long time. I used to be very insecure and anxious within. But I studied social science, I studied all of these social skills and tips and tricks, and I crafted a persona, a facade that I was showing to everyone. And within I used to be anxious, but on the outside I used to be pretty nice. And you know what this did to me? It reinforced my anxiety, because my anxiety was still in there. I just learned to cope with it. And this is a very bad approach because your anxiety is not only still there, but it's being fed and it grows even more. And you have to learn to cope with it even more after a while. And it's pretty painful. I made this analogy in a previous video. It might pop up on your screen right now somewhere, of how most people that are anxious, that are exactly like I used to be, as I told you, they are basically a rotten cake. And instead of just creating a new cake that's with good ingredients, they just try to cover it up in cream. In all of these social skills, crafting the perfect social behaviors and learning to cope with their insecurities. And most people live like this forever. They never truly treat their actual wounds. They just cope with it forever. It's not a very nice existence, is it? But then what if you could just get to a point where you allow other people to form whatever opinion they want on you? You're not triggered by that anymore. You're just like, this is me, take it or leave it, whatever. That's achievable. And interestingly enough, if I were to tell you right now that a friend of mine did this and he doesn't care anymore about the way people perceive him, you would just be like, well, yeah, that's powerful. I'm sure his social life is so much better. But if you were to picture yourself in such a situation, you would probably feel panicked. People just finding out whatever they want about you, you being more like careless, not having such a tight grip on everything, not controlling the way they perceive you. So what does that look like? Maybe that looks like you talking about something that's more private or vulnerable to you. You not being embarrassed of like making a push-up in the middle of the street. It's pretty extreme, yeah, I know, but that's true confidence. Think about all the things you do to maintain your image, all these defense mechanisms. Maybe you got used to having a great sense of humor and you are avoiding going deeper in conversations. Maybe you have a set of one-liners or a set of behaviors that you just employ in every single conversation, and they get you through it, right? There is no pressure because you just learn this automatic behavior. Or maybe you're insecure about something physically and you're coping with it through maybe makeup, maybe a hairstyle that covers your bald spots, maybe an outfit that enhances how fit you are, how fit you look. What if all of your friends were to get a telepathic message about something cringe that's passionate to you? Something cringe that you often do. How would you feel about that? What do you think would happen? Would they stop being your friends? Would they start hating you? Would they judge you? Like, Probably they would judge you in the moment, for a few seconds, for a few minutes, maximum for a few days, but nothing else would change otherwise. But your ego just wants you to believe that the world would crumble if that were to happen. Your ego wants you to believe that you are so, so special, that you are just on the top of the human hierarchy. And like truthfully, you are on the top of your hierarchy. I always say this, you are the most important person to you. But your ego takes this truth and turns it into something toxic. And your ego just wants you to believe that everyone is thinking about your insecurities all the time, that everyone spots them. And I know it because I've been there myself. Because when I was younger, I used to be quite chubby. And I became very self-conscious over the moments when my belly would pop through my t-shirt. And I was certain that everyone was noticing it. I was certain that everyone was just staring down at my belly and judging it. Was that the truth? Not quite so. And I was a child. When you are young, there are a lot more bullies. People make fun of you more easily. And still, I didn't really get that many comments on it. It was pretty chill. But my ego just wanted me to believe that everyone cares about this. And you know how it feels, right? You have one thing you're insecure about. Your ego will always whisper something evil in your ear. But don't listen to it anymore, because it just puts a current situation on steroids. Put not only the current situation, but like the worst parts of the current situation on steroids, and it makes you believe that that is literally the reality. That is not real. That is not objectively real, at least. I know it feels real for you because your evil voice has convinced you this way, but in truth it's not true. So stop believing that lie. It's just a fat lie. And it's time to stop believing it, because it's literally dragging you down. The solution is not to create a perfect front. The solution is not to learn social skills or to learn these tips and tricks of how to be more funny, whatever you want, get fit, become a millionaire. None of this. The solution is to not need a front in the first place. And that's when your true confidence comes up. That's when you lose the tight grip you have over the way people perceive you, and you are able to be yourself. And oh my god, this is a freeing experience. Like, I'm not there 100% yet, but as days go on, I start to experience more and more and more of that. And it's so nice, it's so freeing. And ironically, that's when people start respecting you even more. So there is no reason for you to not go on this path. If you want my personal guidance, I have a link in the description, and you can book a meeting with me where I will help you. I've helped a few other people, I've helped myself the most, and I'm certain I will be able to help you as well if you relate to my story and to the contents of my channel in general. So see you later.